One is basically we work for three basic reasons. One is acquisition of knowledge. Acquisition of knowledge because we need to acquire knowledges. Then the second thing is after acquiring knowledge, we go for creation of knowledge. And then the third thing is dissemination of knowledge. After creating the knowledge, you have to disseminate it. You have to share your research finding, your knowledge to others. So these are the basic three objectives of us. Now, apart from this, why we need to publish? Why it's important to publish book chapter, book, or journal article in peer-reviewed journal? Now, to me, there are some reasons, but the first reason is advancement of theory. The second one, generating new knowledge. The third one is extension of literature. So these are the three basic reasons to me that why we publish. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we know, what are the problems or challenges we face when we try to publish, because like me, I think that all publishers face the same kind of problem. And for young researchers, it is even more difficult because of the lack of experience. They have to juggle with too many things at the same time. So it is difficult for them. Now, what I would suggest from my experience that before submitting your work to a journal, you need to find out that which journal would fit best for your research work. So you can go for two ways. For example, you write a research paper first, then you find out that which journals are best for your research work, then you find out a journal. And then another way might be the top-down way, like you dream for a journal that, for example, World Development. You might have a dream of publishing an article in World Development. Then you select that what are the things that World Development are looking for. Then you prepare your research paper according to their requirement. But this is not the common. Normally, we go for prepare a paper first, and then we find out that which journal would best fit for your research work. And because most cases, the editor will tell you that when you're being rejected, they will tell you that this is out of your this is not the scope of our journal. So you have to read very carefully that whether your research article is fitting to is meeting the requirements of the journal. Then the second important thing is you have to go for submission guidelines. Very important that you need to go for submission guidelines, that what are the things you have to follow, because each journal has different submission guidelines. And worldwide, there are top class journals, for example, Elsevier, Springer Nature, along with Palgrave Macmillan, then Wiley, and number 4 is Taylor and Francis. These four publishes 40% of the journal. So they are very top ranking journal, and other 60% are published by other publishers. Then, so each journal has different submission guidelines. So before you submit a paper, you have to go for the guidelines. And for example, they may tell you to prepare a title page first. And in title page, you have to write your name, your affiliation, so on and so forth. Then you have to go for an abstract. And I would suggest you to follow some of the things that are very important when you organize an abstract. Because to me, abstract should reflect your whole paper, because the editor will first see your title, then will go for abstract first. So I think the 50% decision will make that whether it will go for review process or not after reading your abstract. So abstract should be in a very simple language. It has to be very clear. It has to tell the reader about the whole story, what you are going to discuss in your full paper. Then what are the things you have to include in abstract? You should include basic research question. Then you should tell the reader that why your research is significant. Number 3 is just a methodology in 2-3 sentences. And then you go for findings. And at last, you wrap up with the contribution of your paper. So this is how you could organize your abstract. And then you have to read the guidelines. Some journals require introduction. Some journals tell you to write a background. So you have to prepare your paper according to the guideline. And then you have to, they want you to include some keywords, because when the reader will find you, they will search with your keywords. So this is very important to choose the right keyword for your journal article. Then some journals would tell you to write about the declaration. You have to declare whether you have written any part of the paper in anywhere. You have to declare this. Is there any conflict of interest? You have to tell this. Is there any funding opportunities, funding issues are involved here? And you have to go for acknowledgement for some journals. So these are very different. So first you have to look at the articles author section, the article submission guidelines, and you prepare your paper according to the guideline. Then you go for submission. And as our speaker said, that once you submit a journal article, it will go to the editor. Editor will decide, editor will see your title first. And regarding title, it has to be very catchy. It has to it shows some kind of uniqueness. Okay. So it's very important to give a good title of your paper. Then beautifully prepare your abstract. This is the main thing you have to do. Then the editor will read your abstract and the full one, and he will decide that whether it will go for peer review or not. Then your paper will go for blind peer review process, and it will come back to you. You don't know how long it will take. It is a very time-consuming process for some journals, because reviewers, since it has no recognition and it's a blind peer review, reviewers are not getting interested to review articles. So sometimes it takes a long time to get feedback. And then it will come back again to the editor. Editor will see that whether it requires major revision or minor revision or something else. Then if he or she thinks that it will go to send it to the author again, he or she will send it to author again for further revision. Then it will sometimes go to the peer reviewer again, and sometimes the editor give the final decision. So this is how the journal articles publishers, and I know like me, I think everybody, we all have same kind of experience. Like I basically have a love-hate relationship with the publication process. Some publications, maybe in equality journals, for some publication I didn't face much challenges. It was very easy go, but for some other publication, I had to struggle a lot. So I would say that I have a love-hate relationship with the publication process. But at the end of the day, I would say that there is no shortcut way to publish in a good quality journal. So you must have to keep patience for a good publication. And if you want me to tell a little bit about book publication, it's almost same, but for book publication, you have to prepare a book proposal first. And again, you have to read the guidelines of particular publisher, that it would require to prepare the book proposal. And in book proposal, one extra thing you have to do, that you have to justify why your book is significant, what is the contribution of your book, and who is going to be the reader of your book. So who will read your book? You have to tell it. And then most important thing, because book will never be published if it doesn't have any market value. So who are the competitors in the market, possible competitors, and why your book is unique. why it's not other competitors' books are unique. So you have to justify and answer all these things before you prepare a book proposal. Then you submit a book proposal, and then it will go for the same kind of thing. And regarding book chapter, because I think I'm running out of time, I have 10 minutes, but regarding book chapter, I would suggest not to go for book chapter much, because you would have less citation for book chapter. So it's always wise to publish articles, journal, research articles in good peer-reviewed journals. I think that's all from me, Rosiana. Thank you very much. I think I have finished in 10 minutes.
Thank you, Dr. Faraha. So we are really glad that you share your experience. I think we will come back to you when we start the question and answer, if you still have some time to stay with us.
Okay.
Now we will love to hear from other colleagues from a different country. So we have Dr. Paulo. He is from the Philippines. I will share my screen. Dr. Jean Paulo, his educational qualification is Bachelor of Arts major in Economics from the University of the Philippines.